Dear students, welcome to the next lecture in this lecture series on signals and systems. Today we are going to start the new topic, which is the basic operation on signals. Now, as you can see written over here, that there can be three basic operations which are performed on signals. Now the first operation is the time shifting operation. The second operation is called the time scaling operation, and the third one is called the time reversal operation. Okay, so any of these three operations are possible on a particular signal, and it may also be possible that a combination of operations are being done on a signal. So first of all, we will discuss one by one all the individual operations on a signal, and then we will also see the combined operations which are performed on any signal. Okay, so first let us start with the first operation, which is the time shifting operation. So the first operation is called the time shifting operation. Okay, so let us suppose that there is a signal which is xt. So obviously this is a continuous time signal, as you know by the discussion in the previous classes, that this is a continuous time signal xt. So it may be shifted in time just by replacing its variable t by t naught. So if you replace its variable t by t minus t naught, so that is called a shifting operation. Now this t naught, actually this is the shifting factor. Okay, and the type of operation, the type of shifting will be determined by the value of this t naught. Okay, so if t naught is less than 0, that means the signal is shifted towards left side. So if t naught is less than 0, that means signal is shifted to the left. Whereas if this t naught is greater than 0, that means the signal is shifted to its right side. Okay, so these two types of shifting is possible in a signal, that whether the signal will be shifted towards right side or whether the signal is shifted towards left side, that will be decided by the value of this t naught. So you let us suppose, if I take an example, that let us suppose that this is a signal, this is xt and this is t. You let's suppose this is you can say 2, this is, you can suppose it to be 4. Now if you have been asked to perform an operation of x t minus 2, so now from this signal which is already given to you xt, if you have been asked to draw the signal xt minus 2, so now if you can just compare with the form which I had already told you, that this is actually t naught, this is actually t naught. So here this t naught, which is 2, So this t naught is actually greater than 0. So what will it mean? This will mean that the signal is shifted towards right side, as you can see from it. And how much it will be shifted towards right? It will shift right by 2 units. Okay, so the signal will now be, the original signal was from 2 to 4. So now this signal will be from 4 to 6. So this signal is x of t minus 2. Okay, now from the same problem, suppose if you have been asked to draw x t plus 2. So again just the same problem can be used to draw this x t plus 2 also. Now in this case what will happen? Now you are seeing that this is the value of t naught, and here this t naught is less than 0. Okay, so if you just compare it with t minus t naught, so that means t naught is equal to minus 2. So t naught is less than 0. So if t naught is less than 0, what will happen is the signal will be shifted towards the left side. And how much units by it will be shifted? It will shift by 2 units towards the left side. So if the original signal is from 2 to 4, then after shifting left by 2 units, the signal will now be from 0 to 2. Okay, obviously this is the time variable. Okay, so this is the meaning of the time shifting operation. Okay, now next type of operation is the time scaling operation. Okay, now in this time scaling operation, again we start by the same signal, which is xt. So in time scaling operation, what we do is we replace t by at. Okay, now here this a is called the scaling factor. Okay, now again the value of a will depend the change which is going to happen in this signal. So if this a is greater than 1, then scaling results in compression. That is, the signal will be compressed. Whereas if this a is less than 1, and to be specific, this should be in between 0 to 1, then the scaling will result in the expansion of the signal. Okay, now I will explain what is the meaning of this expansion and compression. Again, you take the same example. Let us suppose that there is a signal from 2 to 3. This is xt, this is t. Now let us suppose that if you have been asked to draw x of 2t. Okay, now you just compare it with the original form and you see the value of a is greater than 1. So when the value of a is greater than 1, that will mean the signal will be compressed. So signal will be compressed, it means that if you can draw x of 2t in the same signal, now the limits will be divided by 2. So if the interval is 1 here, then after compression the interval will be 1 by 2. Okay, so this 2 divided by 2, this will be 1, and this 3 divided by 2, this will be 1.5. so the signal will be from 1 to 1.5. okay, so you can see that this signal is compressed. That is why this is called compression in the signal. So after this operation, this scaling operation, the signal is compressed. Now you can see that the interval is only now 0.5 as opposed to this interval where it was 1. okay, so similarly, now let us suppose that if you have been asked to do a scaling operation x equals to 0.5t. okay, so again you see that 0.5, which is the scaling factor, it is I'm sorry, this is less than this is less than 1. okay, so this is less than 1. Now if the scaling factor is less than 1, you can see that this signal is expanded. okay, so again if you can draw this signal here, so first of all you see the original signal, this is 2, this is 3, so the limits now will be divided by 0.5. so what will happen, this 2 divided by 0.5, that will mean that now the signal can be drawn from 4 to 6, so that the interval is expanded. So this is expansion and this is compression. So in the coming slides we will see some examples as well of the different operations. Next type of operation, that is the last operation, it is the time reversal operation. okay, so this is the third modification which is done in the independent variable, and again let us suppose that there is a signal xt. so if you just replace t by minus t, that will result in the time reversal operation. okay, so this is also called folding or reflection of the signal about the time origin. So that means that in this case the signal will just be the mirror image of its original part. Okay, so just you have to obtain the mirror image of a signal if you have to perform the reflection operation or the time reversal operation. Okay, so again it can be done in any signal. Like again you take an example, this is a signal, this is xt, this is t. Okay, so if you have to perform time reversal operation, then what you have to do, you just have to replace the independent variable t with x of minus t. So x of minus t will mean that you just have to obtain the mirror image of the original signal, mirror image about the vertical axis. Okay, so in this case what will be the mirror image from minus 3 to minus 2? So this is x of minus t. Okay, so this is called the time reversal operation. Okay, so these are the three basic type of operations which are performed on different types of signals. Okay, so before going further, now all these three types of operation are depicted here. Okay, so on the left hand side you can see the examples of time shifting, and on the right hand side you can see the examples of time scaling as well as time reversal operation. Okay, so these three operations, the top ones, they actually represent the time shifting operation in the continuous time variable. Okay, so this is an original signal xt, and this signal, this is x of t minus t naught, and this signal, this is x of t plus t naught. Okay, so obviously in this original signal you can see that the since this t naught is greater than 0, so the shifting is taking place towards the right hand side. On the other hand, in this figure shown below, the t naught is less than 0, and that is why the shifting is taking place towards the left hand side. Okay, so obviously the amount of shifting will depend on the value of this t naught. Now these three figures are for continuous time signals. The figures which are shown below, these are for discrete time signals. Okay, so these below figures, they are for discrete signals. Okay, the time shifting operation is for discrete operation. So this is again, this is any signal xn, and this is x of n minus n naught, and this is x of n plus n naught. Okay, so obviously the shifting will take place toward the right hand side since n naught is greater than 0, and in this figure the shifting is taking place towards the left hand side since n naught will be less than 0. Okay, so this is the examples of shifting operation. Now here in this right hand side figure, these examples are for time scaling operation. So again, this is xt, and this is x of twice t, whereas this is x of t by 2. Okay, so again you can see that this 2 is the scaling factor a, and if it is greater than 1, then this will result in the compression of the signal, which is visible from this example. And whereas a, what is a here? A is 0.5, 1 by 2, that is 0.5. So since a is less than 1, so the expansion is taking place in this signal. Okay, and the last operation is being shown here. This is, if this is xt and this is x of minus t, so you can very easily see that this signal on the right hand side is just the mirror image of this left hand side signal. Okay, and the figure which is shown below, this represents the time reversal operations of discrete time signals. Okay, so these signals which are shown below, these are discrete signals. Okay, so time reversal operation of discrete signals, it is shown in this figure. Okay, so now what we have discussed so far in this lecture is the different types of operations which are performed on signal. Namely, we had discussed three basic operations. The first one was the time shifting operation, the second one was the time scaling operation, and the third one was the time reversal operation. So we had seen one example for each of these three basic operations. Now in the next lecture, what we will discuss is the combined operations on the different types of signal. Like suppose if in a particular signal, if we are asked with the if we are asked to do the shifting and scaling operation, then how do we perform those operations simultaneously? Okay, and let's suppose then that reversal also we have to perform, so that there are three operations simultaneously which have to be performed in a signal. So we will see that how simultaneously at a time we can perform these operations, what is the rule, what is the procedure of performing these type of operations. And so we will solve various examples of different types of signals which will incorporate these different operations, so that will help you to understand more about these operations. Okay, so this is all we have to discuss in this particular lecture, and the next topics will be discussed in the next lectures. Okay, thank you very much.